So do any of you have constant anxiety symptoms? I'm talking about a handful of symptoms that are like your staple, right? They're always there in the background. Sure, you have symptoms that come and go. You have symptoms that get really intense. But for some of you, like me, there would be like this one symptom that would just last for months. And from the moment I woke up until I went to bed, I would kind of feel it there. And it would just bug the crap out of me. The fact that it would last a long time, really no matter what I was doing or if I was consciously triggered or not, that really messed with my acceptance. You know, it made me feel like there's something wrong with whatever part of the body I was experiencing that symptom in. So if that's you, go ahead and like this video. I'm going to give you some tips on how to overcome these constant symptoms that are always in the background. Subscribe if you're new. Let's jump into this. So I think the first way that we get past these symptoms is to understand why they are there. You know, first thing you need to do is to make sure if you've had a symptom that's been constantly going on, whether or not you're anxious or not, it is best to get checked out by a doctor and get all the necessary testing. You need to do that first. I know it seems counterproductive to have to do that a lot if you're changing symptoms, but if you can do that pretty quickly and up front, that's the least time you're going to spend in this anxiety cycle because you got that reassurance that you can start working towards acceptance, right? An acceptance process. So get that out of the way. After that, you need to understand why this happened in the first place. If anxiety is causing this, why am I having this symptom all throughout the day, whether or not I'm anxious? Because in the beginning, it makes sense, right? Like I was anxious because of this or this or this, right? And then I had a panic attack, and then, you know, my chest got tight, and then I had chest pains, right? But now I'm having chest pain all day, and this is a perfect example of one in my life. After I had my first panic attack and everything, I put so much fear and focus on it. It became a habit of the body and mind. So that's what we're doing. We put a lot of fear, like, what's this? What's this? Especially if the symptom's new, it frightens us. The symptoms that you're most afraid of and the ones that you ultimately end up focusing on the most are going to be the symptoms that are always in the background, regardless if you're consciously triggered. So for me, chest pain became that. I was so afraid of there being something wrong with my heart. So eventually I would be able to fall asleep. And as time went on, I started to get better at falling asleep. But after I'd wake up in the morning, anywhere from, 10, 15, 20 seconds to maybe I was lucky and I'd get a few minutes in, then my chest would just automatically start to tighten up because, again, it becomes a habit. Your body has a habit of warning you that there's something dangerous going on because we had really convinced our subconscious that there was something wrong, that there was something wrong with our heart or whatever the symptom or situation may be in your case. But we did a very good job at convincing it that there was something wrong and that we were in danger, that now it just has a habit of letting you know constantly, like, okay, we're in danger, we're in danger. So now that we're not being consciously triggered and, we're not necessarily anxious or whatever, we're like, why the hell are we having this symptom? Well, that's why, because it's a habit. Something else that happens over time is the cortisol, stress hormones start to build up, especially if you're having panic attacks a lot like I was. And then those stress hormones and everything like that, plus the lack of sleep, it doesn't help the situation. Just remember, your subconscious does not need your conscious permission to give you anxiety symptoms and to feel stressed or to feel threatened or to feel in danger. And unfortunately, since we did such a great job at convincing our subconscious that we were in danger for such a long period of time, or this could happen within a week, guys. It doesn't have to take months of you giving that fear and focus. It's now convinced from the minute you wake up until, you're able to go to sleep if you are lucky. So now we have to convince it, right? This is where we start to heal. This is where we start to get better. And this is kind of, I guess, in a broad nutshell or whatever, how to get past anxiety in general and to recover. We take that same mentality and we use it for these symptoms that are always in the background. So I think step one is, guys, you need to have a very good structure, right? You need good structure, especially in the morning. Focus on the morning. This is whenever our symptoms tend to be worse, right? Like I said, I would wake up in the morning, within a few seconds to a few minutes, my symptoms would already be going crazy, okay? So this is where we need to be busy. A lot of us just want to lay around in bed. We want to just kind of wonder about our day, think about our symptoms, look for our symptoms. Some of you aren't even having symptoms right after you wake up until you look for them, and then there they are. You're wondering, is this going to be the day that I don't have symptoms? Oh, there they are, okay? Stop getting on your phone. Stop doing your social media. Stop doing all that stuff. You don't need that, okay? This is your time, right? So get up, hydrate, get a workout in. For some of you, you need to be exercising. I get for some of you, it could be a little triggering, but we have to do it. It is good for us. That's a barrier that you're going to have to break through. For some of you, this is going to be exposure. Work your way into it. I'm not going to spend this whole video doing it. You need to get your heart rate up. You need to sweat. You need to get that nervous energy out of you. It helps, I promise you. If you're worried about your health and all of that, this is going to be perfect evidence that you can get right up in front of the day, right? That you are healthy and that you are okay. So later on in the day, whenever you're sitting on the couch and you have that chest discomfort, you can say, well, something would have happened this morning whenever I went for that jog, okay? You need that evidence. That's a great way of getting evidence up front. So after that, guys, after we get the exercise, go ahead and grab that cold shower. Some of you don't want to do that, but I swear by it. It's great. It'll help desensitize you to symptoms and your negative thinking. It's great. Just trust me on it. It's not supposed to be comfortable. If you hate cold water, you're going to be perfect for it. After that, guys, this is a big one. Mindfulness, okay? Visualization of your life without anxiety. Visualization, this is another good one. Visualize not having those symptoms that are constantly with you, okay? So this is great. Do some meditation. You could mix journaling in there. This is where you could mix affirmations in there. But this is something else I want you to do. Write down all the reasons that you're safe, that you're healthy, that things are going to be okay. You can fill out a whole page. Put all your evidence from the testing. You can add in some good rational statements. Disease is progressive. Something would have happened to me by now. I'm able to get sleep, so that's a good sign. When I get really, really distracted, the symptoms kind of go down a little bit. And that's not, the typical behavior of a disease, right? That's being progressive. So write down all your evidence and then present it to your subconscious. This is whenever I want you to address it, right? And to respond to those symptoms. I want you to respond more so in the morning. We got to pick and choose our battles, and I'll get to that in a little bit. I'll explain why. But in the morning, this is a perfect time to get your day started on the right foot, address your negative thoughts, address the symptoms that are concerning to you, and let your subconscious know why they aren't needed and why we're going to go out and do what we have to do today. And why are we going to be okay? And why are we going to be safe, right? Perfect time to practice that level or that way of responding, So give safety and give context as to why things are safe and why are things going to be okay. And then after that, I want you to get on with your life. I want you to go to work. I want you to go to school. I want you to go run those errands. I want you to go visit who you need to visit. For some of you, it could be, I'm going to clean up the house today or do some chores, or I'm going to go outside and do some yard work, or just do something that's productive. It's okay to ground yourself a little bit. It's okay to distract yourself a little bit, right? We want to show the subconscious that we're going to go out there and we're going to live our life even though we're having these symptoms. Now, here's another thing. When do you respond to your symptoms? Guys, I don't want you to have to do this all day. Now, look, when the symptoms start to get aggravated, for instance, chest pain, that's one that was always in the background. Were there moments where it would get really amped up? Yes. That's another moment for you to say, look, we're okay, subconscious, okay? We're just at work. We're fine. There's nothing wrong with our heart, right? That's a perfect time to then respond again. And there's other ways of responding, guys. There's different methods. Sometimes I would challenge my symptoms to, there's just many different ways of responding to your symptoms, but that's a very great go-to one. Just explain why things are good and why you're safe and why the symptom isn't needed. From that point on, after that, if it's just there in the background, I want you to practice just simply letting go of control. I'm going to let go of control. Subconscious, it's almost like saying subconscious. I've already addressed this a few times this morning. I'll address it if it gets really crazy, but I've said what I need to say. I've made my peace. We've got some stuff to do today, or we got this trip that we have to go on, or I got a yard that needs to be mowed, or I got a house that needs to be cleaned up, or I got kids I need to be playing with or pick up from school or drop them off. And we're going to do those things. So it's about picking and choosing your battles when to respond to these symptoms that are always in the background. In the morning is a great time to respond, and whenever they spike up throughout the day, okay? Whenever they fade back, that's a perfect opportunity for us to just live our life and to normalize, doing things and living life, even though those things are kind of in a low frequency in the background. Our subconscious will start to catch on to this blend of responses and then kind of letting go of control in the in-between, and it'll start to catch on. Other things that you need to be doing, guys, is also just fixing your overall lifestyle. You need to work on your root causes. You need to live an overall stress preventative lifestyle, okay? So that needs to be there. And then you need to be working on your exposure. This is another great time for you to respond to your symptoms, because whenever you expose, you're going to bring those symptoms that are in the background up even more. Or you may have new symptoms that pop up, or you may have panic attacks and anxiety attacks. Again, this is a perfect opportunity for you to go through and respond to your symptoms in whichever way that works best for you. But I want there to be a kind of a mix All right. I don't want you all day being like, I'm okay. Because honestly, guys, I think that can ironically keep it there. At some point, we have to let go of control and let it be. Let it be there. And guess what? As time goes on, what you'll start to notice is that I'm not having to respond as much. I'm not having to address these symptoms. I'm comfortable with just moving on. And my subconscious, even though it gets kind of scared, right? And it gets nervous and agitated, my symptoms kind of get amped up a little bit. Now I'm noticing just by me not responding and me just doing what I have to do, I now have that level of trust with my subconscious where it's like, okay, the fact that this person is just going on and doing what they're doing is enough for me to let go. And okay, I'll ease back on the tension, right? Or the lightheadedness or the dizziness or the headache or whatever it is that you're dealing with, the stomach issues. I'm gonna kind of let go because he's letting go. But in the beginning, whenever you're dealing with this and you don't have any kind of evidence, you don't have any trust built with your subconscious, you have to establish that trust. And a great way is picking and choosing your battles when it comes to responding to those symptoms and responding the right way. We don't want to give fearful responses. And I'm not asking you to not be afraid. I just don't want you to show fear to your subconscious, right? You having some agitation, annoyance, frustration, some fear when it comes to these symptoms, that's a given, right? Who wants to have these symptoms? I want to show my subconscious bravery and courage. So I want that to be the thing for you guys. But that's how you address these symptoms that are constantly in the background. If you need more help with your anxiety recovery process, check out my course, Elite Anxiety Bootcamp. I'm going to put it down below in the description and in the first pinned comment. Close to 100 videos that are going to take you step by step on how I recovered from panic disorder, health anxiety, and generalized anxiety disorder. It was the hardest thing I've ever done, but trust me, if I had it as bad as I had it and I was able to get out of it, so can you. There's a ton of downloadable materials that you'll get in there to help you along the way. Great stuff, guys. It's changing lives. I'm going to read you a review real quick. I made it. I also am 6 months into the Elite Anxiety Bootcamp and it has done wonders for me so far. Trey is one of a kind. Get the bootcamp. Well worth it. So be a part of that. Again, down below in the description and the first pinned comment. My coaching information is down there as well if you're interested on getting on some phone calls with me so I can help you out with your situation. Everybody has a different story. Everybody's anxiety is unique, so I can help you with that, get a strategy together for you. Please like this video if you got value. And until next time, guys, keep fighting. Bye.